And it's time for a change! I have so much anger. I feel like I've been raped. In the face! Great Scott.
At no point in your ramblings were you even close to anything that could be considered a rational thought.
Guess you just discovered a new element!
This is the element of surprise.
Welcome to the Element of Surprise. My name is Chadwick J. Sewitt, and this is the Element of Surprise. It is a mentally irregular podcast where we just take a look at some things that most people would just think is part of our everyday regular life, and I point out why they're fucking insane. So you can find us at EOS dot, no dot, I don't even know my fucking URL. eosmentallyirregular.podbean.com, or check out the Facebook page at www.facebook.com/eosmentallyirregular. Also, we're now on Spotify and Castbox, which is pretty cool, so you can check us out there as well. Okay, so getting right into it, apparently fucking millennials want more restrictions on freedom of speech. That's what they want. That's there was a poll conducted in late November 2019, and I stumbled upon it. And yeah, I know. I mean, you can't really trust anything you read on the web, but if this is true, like a staggering 72% of millennials between the ages of 18 and 25 want more restrictions on the freedoms of speech. They don't want, because they feel that it's freedom of speech is been too lax. We're too lax with our freedom of speech, and that's why so much hate speech happens. They want more restrictions on it, and they want punishments for breaking those restrictions. So that's what a shockingly high amount of millennials want, and that made me realize that millennials, they don't know shit about anything. Millennials don't know fucking shit about anything. And you know what, I'm going to drudge up an old rant here, in that I do not abide anybody who just cannot think for themselves and express their thoughts. It's one thing to be just a fucking asshole who goes out there fucking hating on everybody and just being like, oh, I hate the retards and I hate the blacks and shit like that. You just don't do that. That's one thing. But it's another thing to say that something's retarded. You don't necessarily need to be disparaging the differently abled to say something's retarded or to think it's retarded. As I said before, when I was growing up, things were just retarded. It's like, oh man, Where'd you get those shoes? Oh, my mom took me to Payless. Aren't they cool? No, they're fucking retarded. Those shoes look retarded. But, you know, that's just a thing you'd say, and it didn't fucking hurt anybody. It wasn't meant to fucking hurt. You're not attacking a busload of mentally challenged kids. You're fucking just saying that the shoes look dumb. But you chose the word retarded. You know, but no, 2020, you can't do that. And if the millennials have their way, we won't be able to say it anymore anyway. There will be repercussions, fines and shit. Fuck you. Fuck you, millennials. You don't know anything. Let me ask this. This goes out to any millennial listening right now. What is the worst thing that's ever happened in your life? And if it involves social media, then you get to shut up. You get to go wash your face. Fucking millennials. I cannot abide somebody that just fucking believes that the freedom to say what you're thinking when you're thinking it is too lax. That's something we got to get rid of. We can't have that. You know, and you know, even to those assholes. Wow, that truck just ran a fucking red light. Just Mack truck running a red light. Jesus Christ. But even those assholes out there that are fucking just pure racists and shit like that, I'm not advocating them being racist. I'm not condoning it in any way, shape, or form, but they have the right to say these racist things because that's what freedom of speech means. That's what the freedom of speech is. You know, I mean, if you can have fucking assholes all on the news like Don Lemon, you know, playing his race card and his gay card every time he gets on air and somebody bests him in a debate, then you should be allowed to counter that with any fucking thing you want to say, because that guy is just human waste wrapped up in a suit. And you know, we got the Trumpster fucking tweeting out whatever he wants, but he can do that. That's freedom. That's his freedom of speech. But we can't say retarded. Okay, all right. I mean, he can add little fucking nicknames to people like Rocket Man and shit like that, but I can't say that I think that's fucking gay. Okay, no, that's fair. That's fair. Fuck you. It's not fair. Millennials, get your shit together. You don't know shit about shit. Fuck you. Okay, now that I got that little rant out of the way, and I'm all fired up, let's begin. Let's have some real fun. So, I noticed at the I've worked I don't want to say a lot of places, but I've had my fair share of jobs at going on 20 or 37 years old. In the past 20 years, I've worked my ass off, just to, you know, as you detailed in the last episode, where I was basically just, you know, being real with you, yes, but also whining like a little bitch about things. I said that, you know, going on 37, I know where I am and I know where I want to be, and I just need to know how to get there. And I've worked a lot of jobs and busted my ass to get there. You know, so, but my point being is that I've been in my fair share of workspaces, and the majority of them that I worked in have had a suggestion box. And I view the suggestion box as nothing more than a way to placate the employees, because management don't got time for your shit. It'd be like a fucking deli line. Take a number, get in line, so that way you can go tell management how you feel your work environment could be improved upon, even though the guy behind you in line is probably thinking the opposite of what you're thinking to improve upon the work environment. So they don't got time for that shit. So they make you a suggestion box to placate you, and you can pop your little suggestions in there. Maybe you sign it, maybe you do it anonymously. I don't know. But the point is that most workplaces have a suggestion box for you to do that, to put your little suggestions in it. So I was working at the BDC. I was working in the auto industry at the BDC, and my job there was an office job. My job was basically, if you've ever been online and you type in, you know, you're interested about this car. I'm interested in this 2014 Honda Civic. I worked in the auto industry in 2011 through 2016. So yeah, 2014 Honda Civic. It'll ask you for your name, email address, a phone number, breast size, blood type, favorite sexual position, list of your children's fears and their school schedules, so on and so forth, things like that. And then all of that doesn't go to the dealership. That goes to a team of internet sales specialists is what they call it, and at least they called it in my office. I don't know what they call it in other offices, but that would come to us. And it was my job to go through those and distribute them out to the other members of the team, and then we'd all call them and try to set up appointments for you to see the car. That was the job. It was mundane, and we were nothing more than glorified appointment setters. So we had a suggestion box there, and doing this job, I had a few friends that that shared my sense of humor. For the most part, not that much. I mean, there was Cody, who put the chicken under the sink, but that he didn't so much share my sense of humor as opposed to just be the brunt of the majority of our fucking jokes and shit like that. But anyway, long story short, there was a suggestion box there, and I thought that it would be funny to do something with the suggestion box to get a laugh from my friends, to make my buddies Greg and Ty have a chuckle. I wanted them to have a good chuckle. So what I did is I got a thing of Post-it notes, and I took a Sharpie marker, and on the Post-it notes I wrote one word, big black bold Sharpie black letters, cats. C-A-T-S, cats. I wrote it right on the fucking Post-it note, and I slapped it right at the bottom of my phone on my desk. So that way, it was always right there. It was always, right in my line of sight. And anytime anybody walked by and asked me about that, they'd be like, "Oh, Chad, cats? What's that mean?" I'd be like, "Oh, thank you for reminding me." Or they'd be like, "Hey, Chad, what's up with cats?" I'd be like, "Oh shit, yeah, no, I almost forgot. Thanks, Jesus." Or one time I even said, "Don't worry about it," and I just threw on a Brooklyn accent. They're like, "Hey, what's up with cats?" I'm like, "Don't worry about it," and just went on with my life. But the point is, I left it ambiguous. I told no one what cats meant. And then we had scraps of paper that were torn into like if you take a sheet of white paper, printer paper, and you tear it into fours, once across the horizon line and once across the equator. I don't know if I said that right. Fuck it. I don't care. You tear it into four pieces, and we would use that for notes. So what I was doing with it is I was drawing pictures of cats on these papers and putting them into the suggestion box. And, I'd get creative with it. Some days it would just be like a stick figure of a cat. Maybe that cat was taking a shit in the litter box. I don't know. Sometimes I was bored and I didn't have time to draw a full picture because I was busy, so I just write the word cat on it and put a date on it. I always dated it, and sometimes I do more than one a day, sometimes I do one a day, but I did this for about a month. And the fucked up thing is that I knew for a fact that this suggestion box got checked. I know this for a fact because from where my desk was, I could see my supervisor, Chiffon, who was a man, by the way. His name is Chiffon, but he was a man. I got more on him at another point in time. I've talked about him before, about his staggering lack of understanding what personal space is, his need to overcompensate for everything and thinking that he was the coolest motherfucker in the world, but I got more Chiffon stories at another date if you're interested. Anyway, he would come out once a week and he would take the suggestion box off of the wall. He'd take it down off the wall, and he'd take it into his office, and he'd unlock it, and he'd dump all the suggestions out on his desk. And then he'd lock it back up, put it back up on the wall, and then he'd go in there and he'd look through them. And I could see him going through the suggestions from my desk. My end game with all this was, so I know that he got the pictures of cats, and my end game with all of this was, of course, I wanted another email, like the chicken under the sink email. I wanted there to be an email that was sent out just to the whole floor, to the whole company, just like, "Hey, we are adults here and we work in a respectable place of business. To whomever is spamming the suggestion box with crudely drawn pictures of cats, please stop. Be an adult." Just like that. So that way my buddies Ty and Greg would see that email and they would laugh because they've seen the word cats on my desk, and they would giggle and they'd be like, "Oh, Chad, that's you." What have you been doing, you crazy son of a bitch? But the email never came. I did this for about a month. No email. Saw no email. So I just stopped doing it. I was pretty pissed off about it, and I just never resumed my cat spamming activities. But so that was what I did to the suggestion box at work, and I to this day still wish that I'd gotten that email sent out. And I don't know what I did wrong. Maybe I stopped too soon. Maybe I didn't cat spam long enough. Or maybe, knowing Chiffon, maybe he was just like, he saw the pictures of cats and he was just like, ooh, yeah. And he took them home and he spread them out on the bed and he climbed into bed on my pictures of cats naked and masturbated furiously. Because you got to know him to know that, but that doesn't seem outside of the realm of reason with him. That seems like something that he'd be like, yeah, I can do that because I'm Chiffon and that fits my fucking, that fits my bill. That lands with me. So, I don't know why the email never came. I like to think that it's because Chiffon was stealing all my cat pictures, and he had a whole room of them tacked up with those. How you see people whenever they're trying to figure out something, and they'll have like photos and news stories tacked up, and they have strings that tie them all together, like going from one to another, tying it all together. Like I imagine Chiffon had that going on in his bedroom, just a fucking maze of cat pictures with fucking strings tying them all together while he sat naked in the middle of the room masturbating furiously to fucking meditation music or some shit like that, or Lady Gaga. Anyway, the email never came. So, it's been about 8 years. It's been about 8 years since I did that. And I was thinking about it the other day, and I realized that I haven't seen a suggestion box at my current place of business. I didn't see one. And that's what made me think about it. And, I know they got to have one. I just don't know where it is. But so what I'm saying here is that I know that the majority of places that we work have suggestion boxes. And if you have a suggestion box at your place of business, maybe that's something you'd want to do, so that way I can live vicariously through your spamming of the suggestion box. And it doesn't have to be cats. It can be anything. You can draw a picture, or maybe you're really good at drawing a guy eating Doritos, or maybe you're good at drawing fat Batman. I don't know. Maybe you're good at drawing single slices of pizza with odd toppings, like a bicycle wheel as a topping. I don't fucking care. Whatever it is, start spamming your suggestion box with it until they send an email out company-wide asking whoever's fucking doing it to fucking not. And then what I want from you is, I want you to post some of the pictures that you spammed the suggestion box with onto the Element of Surprise page or the EOS group, as well as the email itself, so that way I can read it and enjoy. And obviously you don't need to do this before the email gets sent out. Just, save some of the pictures, like before you pop it in the suggestion box, take a picture on your phone and save those. And then when the email comes out, take a picture of that, and then just post them all on the EOS group, so that way I can see what you did, what you accomplished that I couldn't, what you did to be better than me. I'm training. It's every teacher knows that their student is supposed to surpass them in some way, and you're the students of me. So God help you. And as members of the EOS Army, we're supposed to lift each other up and support each other. And what I'm trying to do is support you in spamming a suggestion box at work to accomplish something I could not. And that's about it. So if you've got a suggestion box, just start spamming it with anonymous pictures. You got to date them. That's the one bugaboo about it, is you got to put the date on them. Don't put your fucking name, obviously, but you do have to date them. So that way, whenever they check the suggestion box, let's say theoretically you're using pictures of cats, they pull out fucking 40 pictures of cats. Oh, there's 12 from January 28th. Here's 5 from January 29th. So that way they know exactly what day all the cats were put in there. And just that's if you do cats. Do whatever you want. Anyway, moving right along. You know what I hate? And I realized this very recently. you ask somebody, hey, how are you? And you know, it's those little, let me start over. We all have those little niceties that we start our days with, especially with coworkers and people who you see every day but are still basically strangers. It's just a stranger you see every day. You know, maybe it's the guy in the elevator at work, or maybe it's that one girl that works across at the other end of the office, so she always holds the door open for you in the morning. Or maybe it's that one person that you only see outside on your smoke break. And, you know, but we all have that person or those people. So we're nice, we're friendly, because that's what human beings try to be, even though inside we're fucking psychotic pieces of shit with fucking weird proclivities and you know, needs to jerk off into other people's wallets or sit in a bathtub full of marinara sauce. But you know, for the most part, we try to be nice, and I'm a little sick of that. I going back to the freedom of speech thing, you know, why is it that whenever I ask somebody, it's like, oh, hey, how you doing? They're like, oh, I'm good. How was your night last night? I'm just like, good. And I don't detail anything that we did. And neither do they whenever I ask that same question in return. Why isn't it that it's just like, oh, hey, how was your night last night, Aaron? And Aaron's just like, oh, man, me and my girlfriend had this wild fucking orgy. These guys just showed up at our house. I don't know why they were there. I think they had the wrong address, but next thing you know, we're all fucking naked. She's got 3 cocks in her ass. I've got 2 in mine. I was down with that shit. Next thing you know, there's a rope tied around my face. I'm in fucking pain. That's how I got this brush burn. You know, like, why does that never happen? That needs to happen more. Or, oh, hey there, Wanda. How's things in the land of Wanda? What did Wanda do last night? Oh, well, last night, you know what I did last night? Last night I filled my toilet up with spaghetti, with pasta, pre-cooked pasta. And then I added some green food coloring in there, and I made it look like it's some sort of like sea creature coming up out of my toilet. And then I had my teenage sons use their fancy smartphones to film me shoving my head in the toilet while I'm naked, like I'm being attacked by a green spaghetti monster in my toilet. That's what I did last night. Wow, Wanda, that's fucked up. That's fucked up. Did you enjoy yourself? Oh, yes, I did. Oh, well, then that's all that matters, right? You had a good time. You know, why does that never happen? We need more of that. We need more of that. It is 2020, people. We need more of that. Hey, man, how you doing? Oh, I'm great. Awesome. Why are you so fucking chipper today? Well, let me tell you, underneath my fucking jeans here, I'm wearing a fucking pair of fucking ladies' underwear, and they are 2 sizes too tight. So my balls are fucking squeezing. It feels nice. Jesus fucking Christ, dude. But whatever, at least you're having a good time, right? Yes, I am. All right, that's all that fucking matters. Hashtag, that's all that fucking matters. So we need fucking more of that, like, now. Right now. Matter of fact, here's what I want each and every one of you to do. Next time you see me or hear from me, and I say, hey man, how are you doing? I want you to be bluntly fucking honest. Next time I ask you, what did you do last night? I want you to tell me the most fucked up thing you did last night. Even if it's something as simple as, like, you know, you just spilled wine on your crotch, or you know, maybe you dropped a Dorito with cheese on your shirt and you were too lazy to wipe it up and you just have like a thick spot of encrusted cheese on your shirt. I don't care. You have to tell me. New rules. If Chad Suet asks you, hey, how was your night? What'd you do last night? You gotta fucking tell me everything you did. Everything. New rules. Okay. Jesus Christ. Let's move right along. Shall we, my cherubs? Okay, cherubs. Let's move right along. Let's saunter down this avenue. So, have you ever really just looked at a fish? Have you ever seen, just like looked at, it doesn't matter what type of fish, just any fish. Have you ever just looked at a fish? They are fucking horrifying. I fucking hate fish. I will eat fish. If you cook me like some fine salmon or tilapia, I will eat it. Matter of fact, I've eaten shark before. Shark is the steak of fish, and it is delicious. But overall, regardless of how good they taste, fish themselves are creatures that just shouldn't exist. They're objectively horrifying to look at. They don't have eyelids. They don't fucking blink. And anything from the tiniest goldfish all the way up to those fuckers that are like, eels and shit, and the ones that go down like where the water pressure is so deep and dark that you can't even see them. Fish are fucking creatures of pure nightmare terror, and they need to be destroyed. I fucking hate fish. Let me tell you how this began. So, when my son was much younger, we said, okay, let's get him fish. I was against this from the get-go because I've never owned a fish that has lived more than 2 days, ever. So, I'm like, okay, well, let's get him something to teach him about death early on. 2 days from now, he'll be learning about death whenever, the Goldie fish is upside down up in the tank and it won't play with him. Or whenever he takes it out and just puts it on the fucking heater because he wants to play with something. He wants a pet that plays with him, but whatever. So we were going to get him a goldfish. And we're in the fucking place, and we're in the pet shop, and we're walking back through where the aquariums are. And I don't know why all aquariums are set up this way, but they all have this, like, nightmare dreamscape lighting that it's like... I can't really describe it other than the fact that the lighting just doesn't give off the right mood. It's not good mood lighting. It's just like very bright, very fucking bright, almost bluish, and then the underwater gives off like a fucking weird vibe to it. You can see all the little like weird ripple shadows, and then you see the fish, and they swim past the light, and they just look fucking like you get to see everything there is about a fish, and it's just horrifying. They got some fish that are see-through, and they just swim in front of the light, and you can see their fucking bones. Imagine if that was a person. Imagine if that was a person, and you're just like, oh, hey, Gary, how you doing? He's like, oh, I'm good. And then he walks in front of a light, and he just becomes translucent, and you can just fucking see right through Gary, just see all his bones. You'd be fucking screaming your lungs out because of how fucking frightening that is. But no, for a fish, it's just a fish. That's okay. It's just a fish. But no, it's not okay. So anyway, I'm sitting there, and I'm looking through all this fucking nightmare lighting of these aquariums at these fucking fish while Ash and Anakin are trying to pick out a fucking goldfish. And I am fucking just hating it there. I'm just, like I said, I didn't really care for fish to begin with, and I'm just hating it there. And so then they have this one big tank, and it just looked empty. And me, being fucking stupid, go up to the tank, and I'm like, oh, what fucking beast is in this? And it was a fucking eel. It was a moray eel or some shit like that. And it comes out, and it has that long, like, snout. And first off, everybody that knows me should know that I fucking hate snakes on, like, an Indiana Jones level. I really do. I fucking do not like snakes. And I also am not very fond of fish. An eel is a combination of those two things. It is a snake fish. It is a fish that is also a snake. And, so it just pokes its head out of a fucking, like, one of those ceramic logs that they have down there and, like, opens its wide-ass mouth at me. And I know I was protected because it's not going to jump through the glass at me. At least I don't think so. But I was just like, nope, time to go. And I've hated all fish ever since then. I just don't like fish. And so, I've looked into it. I'm not just going to jump into, oh, I hate fish, without giving you guys some real reasons aside from that story. Have you ever seen any of the other fish that are out there? Go ahead and look at one of those anglers. Like, really just look at a picture of one of those angler fish. The one that's got, like, the fucking light bulb hanging off its forehead. Look at its mouth. Look at its fucking eyes. It's got blind, dead zombie eyes. And its mouth is just like, it's 90% blender teeth, 5% blind eyes, 1% face light bulb, and then the fucking last 4% of it are just fins. So that way it can move. That's it. Fins and gills. And each one of these fucking long-ass slender blender teeth is basically a hypodermic needle or a spear. And what happens is whenever any other stupid fish gets down to the point where it's in the dark and it cannot see anymore, oh, it sees a little light and it starts swimming towards that light. I'm safe. I'm safe as light. No, you are not safe. Fucking Hellraiser fish is there to fucking gut your ass. He's gonna spear you with his fucking teeth, and then it's gonna rotate like a blender, and fucking, you're just turned into goop that apparently he just swims through and it absorbs into himself. Also, have you ever seen a fish eat? Watch their fucking bodies when they eat, even just fish food. Watch their bodies when they eat. It's fucking terrifying. Their entire body convulses like they're having a seizure over like a speck of fish food. It's, and they got that dead mouth and those fucking eyes that don't blink. They're just always wide open, perfectly circular, staring right at you. Like at least a shark will blink. And it does it to protect its eyes and shit like that when it's eating. But at least a shark can fucking blink. A regular fish can't do that. It doesn't have any protective thing. If you go near a regular fish, it ain't blinking at you. And it'll try to eat your ass. Look at fucking piranhas. Those things fucking move in schools, man. They have, you don't just ever see a piranha. There's never just, in this river, I was passed by a piranha. No, it's always like 90 piranhas, and they turn entire fucking animals into skeletons in under a fucking minute. And we're just like, cool. No, not fucking cool. Fuck you. That thing is that's a nightmare thing. That's a nightmare creature. You need to shut the fuck up. You need to move on with your goddamn life and go find another hobby that is not fucking fish. Fish are goddamn terrifying. Look there's an eel out there. I've done my research here. There's an eel who's, I forget the name of it exactly, but it doesn't look like one of the regular snakefish. This is a whole different snakefish. This looks like a dickfish because its face, whenever it's all closed up and its mouth is closed, it looks like a yellow or lime green fucking human penis swimming around at the bottom of the ocean, just floating around there, snaking its way through the ocean. Just a big old human dick floating around in the fucking ocean. And then it spies something it needs to eat. So its face opens up like the fucking predator monster in like 4 different directions. And again, inside is basically just a nightmare hellhole of teeth and fucking blenders type, like in a blender mouth. And it just, the mandibles grab onto whatever it fucking saw and shove it into its mouth where it consumes it, and then it goes back to looking like a penis. That's a real fucking fish. It exists. Then there's the blobfish. Have you ever seen the blobfish? It looks like a human face is melting. It's a fish that looks like a melting human head. Why? Why does that need to exist? And then there's fucking jellyfish. They look like holograms of pies with fucking spaghetti noodles hanging off them. Get those fucking things away from me. If they sting you, you gotta pee on yourself or get pissed on. No, we don't need them. We don't need fish. We have no need of any of these fucking creatures. Aside from cooking them up and making them delicious. And I'm not saying fish the ocean's dry. I'm saying stay the fuck out of the oceans unless you're fishing. Oh, but I like to swim. Really? You like the smell of fucking dank seaweed and dirty ass salt water all over you while you swim? Get in a fucking pool. Just fill your bathtub up and submerge yourself. There are other ways to enjoy water. You do not need to go in the ocean. And don't tell me I want to go in the ocean because I will not do it. Oh, but Chad, there are those places in there that are so crystal clear that you can see right through it. Yeah, I can see the goddamn fish in it and I'm not going there. Fuck you. Fucking fish are horrifying abominations that don't need... I swear to God that if there is a God and he created everything, when he created fish, he was just like, hey, check this out. I'm going to fuck with everybody so hard right now. And the angels were probably like, God, please don't do that. And they're like, you just got this humanity thing rolling. They're figuring shit out, I mean, they're at a very early developmental stage here in their evolution, and they just need to kind of keep it calm. He's like, right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to throw fish at them. And, and there are a lot of other animals besides fish like that, but fish just, what? No! So, he fucked up majorly when he created fish, or he did it on purpose for a laugh. Because if nothing, I think that God is the ultimate jokester. If there is a God and you die and you go to heaven and you're put before God to judge you, you're going to meet him and he's going to be like a court jester. He's going to be like, I don't know whose throne this is. I just been here since forever. And you're going to be like, what the fuck, man? He's going to be fucking James Franco in fucking Pineapple Express is who he's going to be. Just sitting there on his throne, and you're just going to be like, holy shit, your God. He's going to be like, I know, right? This is so fucked up. He'll be like, here, check this out. And then he'll like just pass you some heaven weed, which actually sounds pretty cool. I think heaven weed would be awesome. But no, but anyway, God created fish. Fish are objectively terrifying, and I don't like them. I do not like fish. And there's a whole slew of other fish out there that are like, I mentioned that eel that I saw. Did you know that eels have a secondary mouth inside of their first mouth, like the fucking alien in the movie Aliens? Like a xenomorph? Yeah. What they do is whenever they bite their prey with their first mouth, and then the second mouth shoots out and takes little bites off them and tears them apart from the inside. So that's how an eel eats. Sounds fucking wonderful. I'm so glad that there's the potential I could be bitten by an eel twice with one mouth. Twice at the same time. The same eel could bite me twice in one chomp. Fuck that eel. Fuck you. Fuck that eel. I want nothing to do with it. I want nothing to do with fish. And then even now, you go to the grocery store, you go to the market, and you're walking, and you're looking at the meats, and you're like, oh, you know what? Maybe I'll pick up some fish because at least I know that fish is delicious, and I can eat it. Maybe I'll pick up some fish to cook. And okay, we got this nice sliced tilapia here. We got these salmon. Ooh, there's some shrimps. I like some shrimps, which are also horrifying to behold when they're alive. We got these good shrimps, and oh, you know what? Here's just a dead fish. Just wrapped in fucking cellophane. It's not even gutted yet. There's its eye. Its eye's still in. It's big old dead eye staring at you. Doesn't look any different than when it was alive. Any other animal dies, its eyes like glaze over and, they look completely different. Fish eye, exactly the fucking same. Looks exactly the fucking same. You cannot fucking deal with fish. I cannot deal with fish. Really think about it, because fish are not good. They are not good things. Okay, that's enough about my hatred of fish. I mean, that's not nearly enough about my hatred of fish, but that's enough. I'll rein it in. I'll pull myself back here. Okay, so as I said, about a year, not even a year ago. What the fuck am I talking about? I have no concept of time. Apparently now I view time like a dog. It could have been an hour. It could have been 7 days. I don't know. So earlier this year, we were told, of course, that we had to move. Our previous residence was going to be demolished so that way they could expand a automotive car lot, which is very important. If nothing, for the sake of business, you have to kick people out of their homes and demolish their homes so you can park some used Trailblazers there. That's very important work. And so anyway, we had to move. We moved into the new place. And we've been living there for about July, August, September. July, August, September, October, November, December, January. 7 months. We've lived there for about 7 months now. And one thing that I will say about this place is that the water pressure is phenomenal. It's fantastic. And the hot water gets hot right away. And I don't mean hot like, that's nice and hot. I mean hot like, oh my God, it's scalding you and you've now got 3rd-degree burns. You boiled water and then you splashed the boiling water on yourself, and now you need to go to the emergency room hot. And I'm not joking about that. It gets that fucking hot. And the water pressure behind it is very, very strong, but sometimes, every once in a while, as if there's some sort of pressure backed up in there, it fucking shoots out like a goddamn fucking fire hose. So you'll be in the kitchen washing dishes, and suddenly the hot water stream that you're being very careful to avoid, so that way you don't fucking end up scalding your hands and melting your skin off, you start getting bombarded with like a torrent of fucking like fire hose pressure water that's now splashing itself up all over the place, and you're like, get the fuck out of here. And yeah, you say that's exactly what you say. You say, get the fuck out of here. And I don't know why you say it like that, but you do. And I know you do, because I do. And clearly we're all the same. But or in the shower. The shower is the fucking worst. You're in the shower. You finally regulated the fucking water temperature to something that you can tolerate, something that you can survive through. And bang, here comes fucking just the floodgates are open, and you are now being bombarded with water that is increasing in temperature while you've got soap in your eyes and a loofah hanging off your dick. I don't know why your loofah's hanging off your dick, but I know why mine is. But yeah, it's just fucking so powerful. I mean, I'm not complaining. It's better than having bad water pressure or only cold water. I'm just saying that every once in a while, you get a little surprise. Every once in a while, you're sitting there and then, bam, hot water on your back. And then you wonder why. You're like, why does this patch on my back feel like a lizard scale? Oh, that's right, because the water was so fucking hot. That's actually a minor burn. What's a minor burn there? Oh, so, be careful. This hasn't happened to me yet. I just pray that I'm never cleaning my dick when that happens, because you'll be talking to a whole different Chad after that. It'll be a whole different world. Come on down to Chad world. It's a small world after all. I don't know. Son of a bitch. Okay. What else do I have to detail you with today? I don't know. Let me see. Let me check my notes. You know what else I want to talk about? Let's talk about the weather. For anybody who doesn't live in Pennsylvania, this doesn't really pertain to you, but if you live in Pennsylvania, then you know right off the fucking bat that Pennsylvania winters are some of the fucking most bizarre and fucked up times of the year. For example, dealing with winter in Pennsylvania is kind of like dealing with an Alzheimer's patient. Sometimes they're lucid, and sometimes they think they're fucking 23 or a gremlin or some shit like that. And that's a lot like how it is in winter in Pennsylvania, because for the most part the winter's cold and there's snow, but every once in a while you hit like an 85 degree day, and it's just like, oh, winter, what are you doing? Oh, I don't know. Helen is going to take me down to the beach today. It's like, that's nice, winter. Did you take your pills? Jesus Christ. Okay. You know what? I think that's going to do it for this episode. I hope you guys enjoy it. Before I let you go, check out A Fireside Chat, hosted by my good friend Ryan McCormick. That is on Libsyn. Check out McSauce, hosted by Ian, Paul, and Matt. That is on Podomatic. Check out Case in Point, hosted by Justin Case. That is on Audio Boom. Check out Lunch After Dark. That is also on Podbean. And without further ado, cue the fucking bear music.